Good morning. I'm Sean Cole. Welcome to the Pit Stop. I'm here with my associate, Amir Assad. Amir, good morning to you.
Good morning, Sean Cole. How are you doing today?
I am doing rather well. I'm very excited about the news that we have to talk about today in the wonderful world of sim racing.
Ah, yes, the wonderful world of sim racing. It brings me great happiness to experience the world of sim racing and seeing what's going on in the world of it today.
Indeed. All right, forget that. Okay, This is Simpit. I'm your host, Sean Cole. I am here with my good buddy, Amir Assad. How are you today, Amir?
Dude, I'm great. It's Friday, beginning of the weekend. I am super ecstatic. It's been a long week, and man, I'm just ready to kick back and just have fun this weekend, man. How about you?
I have had a very long week myself, and I'm super excited that it's Friday, and that we can get past this week. That's where I'm at. Drugs are bad, gents.
Bad, okay.
Tom,
Bad.
I'm in a good mood. You know, I'll tell you what. There are times in life where you get beaten down to the point that it becomes comical. And I'm at one of those stages. It's been a rough week. I've had a few things not go my way. And now I'm just sort of like, well, whatever. You know, it's Friday. F it. F it. So, yeah. Anyway. And with that, there's not a lot going on in sim racing. So, Amir, I'm going to put you on the spot. You had no idea this was coming. Yep. Here it comes. Right out of the gate. Bam. Bam. Okay.
I'm waiting.
I'm not here next Friday.
Okay. Oh, I know that.
Are you doing a solo pit stop, just out of curiosity?
I guess I'm gonna have to.
The show goes on, everybody! I think I'm peeking a little bit on the mic. I think I'm peeking a little, everyone. I don't know.
No, because like the past 2 weeks, I'm like, when you told me, I was like, oh, man, I'm so jealous of Sean. Like I was like, man, I want to go to Indy. I want to go to Dallara. I want to go do all that fun stuff. Why don't I get to go?
My buddy keeps...
That's what was bothering me more than anything else. Like, I love doing the show, but like, I'd rather be in Dallara with you.
My buddy keeps sending me messages of what we're doing and things that are going on, but I don't want to say, because like sometimes you don't want to say it out loud just in case it doesn't happen, right? Mm-hmm. So I can say I'm going to the Indy 500. I've seen my ticket. I know I'm in turn one. I know we're really down low though. I mean, you know, funny enough, when you're at a racing event, you actually want the highest seats.
Hey man, you get to smell the tires, the brakes, and the oil and the gasoline. What's better than that?
Well, and we're actually directly across from the big screen, and we have a view of pit exit that's going to be really nice. Yeah. So yeah, that's for sure. Mm-hmm. Number 2. Oh, and I got my real ID, so I know, like, okay. So
you can fly!
I can fly. So I know for a fact. And then the other is my buddy only lives like a mile from the track. He lives in Speedway.
Right.
So I'm not sure. I know we can park at Dallara. So like our logistics should be easier than anyone else on planet Earth is what I'm getting at there.
Right.
I got that going for me. I know because I'm there long enough, I'm going to go see the new museum because they redid the museum. It had been closed for years and years and years. And I did go to it back in, what was Danica's first year? Was that like 05?
Somewhere around then. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, somewhere around then.
I was there that year and I went to the museum and I was like, wow, this makes the Peterson look awesome. This makes the old Peterson look awesome. So anyway, I know I got that going for me. I know that my buddy works at Dallara and that he has enough clout that I will get a private tour of Dallara. Mm-hmm. Just my buddy is going to take me through all of Dallara. And then there are a bunch of things on the, you know, I've heard that I'm going to get a shot at driving the big Dallara sim.
Ooh.
I've heard that Dallara has a joint venture with a sim center adjacent to Dallara at Indy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're involved with it. and that it is like operational, but not open, and then I'm gonna get in there. And then I've heard about some other things like what we might be able to do on Carb Day, maybe. And I don't want to say them out loud. So anyway, the flex. I don't get to flex that much. So, yeah, I'm pretty excited. So anyway, I leave next week, and I'll be gone for a week, and that means I won't be here for that for sure.
Dude, I'm super excited for you, man.
Yeah.
I'm super excited, super jealous, but man, dude, I hope you have a lot of fun out there, man.
Yeah, and I'm doing it all with some friends, so there's like 4 of us total, and a bunch of fun guys. Fun guy.
Oh yeah, man. While you're there, maybe you could steal, like, I mean, since Laura might have something, maybe you could steal like a Haas front nose, from the one car, from the old ones that they have one just laying around. Just steal a bunch of like carbon fiber parts.
The word steal,
borrow.
There you go.
Yes. Like, hey, would you guys lend me the front wing of the Haas car?
Perhaps a donation.
I'll display it on my show for the pit stop. Like it'll be right there in the background.
Come here, Max. This guy, 4:30 in the morning, starts rolling on me because he just wants attention. Tom Jones. Whoa, that one's going right to her. Nice. To the waitress. Didn't mean her. Sorry. That was very sexist of me. I'm sorry.
Yeah. How dare you, Sean?
I try not
21st century.
Yeah, I try not to do that. All right. Now, I'm a little afraid to get into the news. And the reason?
Why is that?
Because I can see the end of the news on one. I don't have to scroll.
Oh.
Yeah, so we don't have a whole lot to talk about. Yeah, but wrecked parts are even cooler for my needs, for what I want to do. Steal my own IndyCar kit. Just hop in and drive it.
Right. You could, you maybe you and your buddy can recreate the scene from, oh crap, what was that IndyCar movie back in the day? It was Stallone.
Driven?
Yeah, Driven. Like you and your buddy jump into an IndyCar each and just start driving the streets of Indianapolis.
The roads there suck. You wouldn't get very far.
No.
So my rough week is kind of why our video content was a little low this week. I'm not going to name any names, but I've had delays on 2 different projects that I'm working on. And so right now I'm kind of waiting on things. So I'm actually going to have to redivert all my energies into something else. Don't even know if I'll be able to get something done. I'm kind of hoping to get something done before I leave town. And then at the other time, then the way this week went, I actually was like, well, maybe I'll do the pit stop and then just call it vacation from that moment until I return.
I mean, if you're kind of out of stoppage, I mean, yeah, I don't know what you could do. I mean, I know right now I'm almost done filming my video, so hopefully I'll have that out next week, probably Thursday. Yeah.
Name the names. Okay, you know what? I'm going to name the names. You know why? Because the pit stop is like the most pit crew based show we have. Like this is for the most loyal fans we have. I feel, the people who are tuning in, whether they're live or even after. And be sure to give it a thumbs up if you're watching. I'll name the names. I am testing out the Wave Italy pedals, which are outrageously expensive. And with that said, once I got them under my feet, I was like, okay, well, I can feel where a lot of the money went. I mean, they're outstanding under my feet. There's nothing for me to say negatively about them, except I was like, well, the throttle spring's a little strong. And so then I went to make some adjustments on it, and what do you know, I was able to get it exactly the way I wanted it to be, and so surprise, surprise, the super expensive pedals came through. When I went to go make a couple other adjustments, though, I ran into some difficulty, though, and a lot of it was due to, in my opinion, overly precise machining. Let's call it that. sometimes you need just a little bit of slop for things to just come apart as easily as they went together. So I was actually having a little problem, and it was only because, and it's the kind of stuff I'd see in a race car, carriage bolts going through bearings, and things that are shoulder bolts, not carriage, shoulder bolts. That's the word I'm looking for. And sometimes that super machining, that ultra precision, just doesn't allow for it to come apart so easily. So anyway, that was the problem I ran into, and it kind of like stopped me midway in my review, and I'm waiting on word from Wave Italy to give you guys the nut and bolt story of it. Anyone who was watching yesterday's stream, and Alash, Alash, I'm poor Alash.
We're feeling sorry for Lush now?
Yeah, Alash got
what?
Alash got the worst rally teammate in the league.
Oh,
because you would have been the worst, not me. But
I am the worst because I haven't been able to show up.
Yeah, but you were replaced. You were replaced. I still wear the shirt. I still fly the I still make the race starts. I just seem to have stupid technical issues. One of the whole points of the Forever rig was to not be changing out my gear.
Right.
So that everything would be like just there and ready. And recently I kind of broke. I mean, my Forever rig was on hold, and I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm sitting in a second rig, and I'm just kind of like trying to figure out if I can do a 2-rig room and then bring back the Forever rig. See, I changed the word there.
Right.
And anyway, but I'm not committed to it yet. So anyway, long story short, during yesterday's rally, my Sim Experience AccuForce Extreme had an issue. Something went wrong with the power supply. And so anyway, I tried to troubleshoot it during trying to be able to finish the rally, and I couldn't. And then after the rally, I was trying to figure out what was going on, restarting, trying different USBs, unplugging, letting things cycle, and just really couldn't get it back to working. So anyway, I've already corresponded with Sim Experience, and they have not seen this scenario before. And so anyway, we're gonna swap this one for a new one, and they're gonna look at what went on with this one. So
I think what it is Sean, you're way too powerful for a wheelbase like that.
I had it pretty.
The level of awesomeness of Sean Cole or Sean Trickle Cole is so amazing that it made the wheel blow up.
My aura.
You couldn't handle it.
My aura causes some, interference. Yeah. I'm just saying. So anyway, that was the other project I was working on. I have other things to work on, but anyway, that's where we're at with that, and very unfortunate because it meant that I couldn't finish the rally. So that's all that went on this week was problems for you, problems for me, and a broken stream.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I don't really have. For me, I don't really have too many problems. It was more of because I'm still trying to get my car prepped for being able to go to the track and everything. So I'm running into some issues with that. Just because the latest part is I almost had the whole car, all the brakes completely replaced. I get to the last brake rotor. It comes to find out the company sent me the wrong rotor. So I'm like, so I got to send them. So I sent them the rotor back. Now I got to wait for them to send me the proper rotor. Which is fine. I guess, it's just going to delay me for a week before I can, do some real life laps. And I shared a picture in Discord today too. I started working on my center dash. So I'm 3D printing all those parts now. That's been kind of keeping me occupied because I want to start that project ASAP because I'm already starting my gears are churning for more stuff I want to put on my Forever rig. Not your forever,
Never.
For not rig, for never rig. So I'm just mostly for me it's just been doing a lot of behind the scenes stuff then doing a little bit of filming for the Trophy AI review video.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Your forever rig. Very cool.
Yeah.
I'm
You can show it later when we look at the rigs. I posted the picture in the post your rig section of the first part of the build.
Oh, you must have just done that because I code.
Yeah, I just did that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to get that when we get to that spot.
Right.
All right. Hi, Max. What's up? What's up? He's like, I'd like to go out right now, please.
Oh, he's stuck for the next hour.
He is stuck. I'm old and dumb, and I know you already tried to take me out.
Yeah.
All right. No, when I mean take him outside. I don't mean take him out.
Oh.
That sounded
Whoa.
wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just being very clear. All right.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
go
did,
ahead.
Marius. I was just responding back to Marius. Yeah, I did see your pictures and videos, man. Dude, you took some awesome. That video you did you did a pretty great job with it, man. I said I was jealous I didn't get to go to WEC this year. Like, and I could either do 24 hours of Spa or WEC just with timing with everything, and I chose to do 24 because I had so much time last year. But man, yeah, dude, I was super jealous you got to go, man.
Oh, it could be like a training flight for next week, right, Tom? He doesn't have the news queued up. I do. That would be the problem. He would have to just ad lib.
I'm just like, yeah, in today's news.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to do it.
Back to CNN again. All right. I mean, they showed some final clips of the final moments from some of the top fixed splits in the fixed Indy iRacing. Anyway, here's
Here comes Hamilton Acablazy to the outside, and the pole sitter moves
3 wide going into 1.
big move on the outside.
And what did I just say? Yeah, Peter did a great job. He cut back underneath and he got the speed, but by the time he did that, both were vulnerable. Again, third place has an excellent opportunity to really just
it's crazy, man.
those two at the very front. It is going to be so
In the fixed setup, especially.
Yeah. I mean, you could probably do stuff like that, like within the first part of the race. But once your tires start wearing out, you ain't gonna be able to do any of that.
All right, so here is the final restart, and this is coming to the finish.
Momentum sometimes work, but he's just a little bit too high on entry. He has to lift out of it big time. That hurt Vasquez, and he is now going to lose out to Acablazy, who's got the run. But both of them try to use that. Oh, and again, you got to lift down into turn 1 with the block. That was just not
Anyway, what I love about this is that iRacing posting all of the split winners, which I don't think they always do that great of a job of doing it. So time slot 1, Akubizi, who we saw in that clip there, won the top split, but they show all the way down to the 20th split. This is time slot 1. Time slot, whoa. And then let's see here. Then, like, when we look at time slot 3, Peter Berryman, who we also saw in that clip, by the way, winning top split. Peter Berryman, by the way, used to work for iRacing and now works for last time I ran into him at a race at Monterey, Laguna, he was working for a brake company. I can't remember the name of the company. Anyway, cool that iRacing's showing some finishes, making a big deal about the Indy 500. I do like that. Jeez, what are you doing? What are you doing over there? You mining crypto? You're like,
I am. No, I was responding back to George about he has a question about the Sim Gaming Expo, and then responded back to our chat.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay, taking care of business.
Yeah.
So, Assetto Corsa Evo patch version 0.2.1 brings a plethora of new fixes and changes. Check it out below. And if you do that, that's a whole write-up from Overtake. And yeah, what you had, was this the one that had 7 cars, 2 tracks?
The the point two. Yeah, it had all that stuff. I tried a couple of the cars.
Mm-hmm.
I tried it a little bit, and I've actually enjoyed they made some really good improvements with the 0.2 update, and like, dude, I think AC Evo, and I think it's going to be a solid contender for one of the top sims coming out. Yeah, coming out, man.
You heard it here.
I've been enjoying it. Yeah,
You heard it here.
I'm a little disappointing that they're delaying the open maps for a little bit, but I mean, but again, like this last update made things quite a bit better, especially now that you don't have to do career mode. You can jump into open and everything. So, yeah, I think Evo's gonna have a pretty good future, man.
Hinchy, you are running tomorrow. Good luck to you, buddy. Anyone else running in the open setup? Indy 500? No Solar Crown news today.
No, oh, thank God. I don't know if my nerves could handle it after this week.
All right. So, call me uninformed. Go on.
Okay.
Aaron, call me uninformed.
In today's news, Sean Cole is uninformed.
Uninformed.
Stay tuned for 9 o'clock news.
Okay. So, at EA Sports, they're like, okay, so someone decipher this for me, because I know somebody, like, I think this is in regards to the name of the team from the F1 movie. So, get an exclusive hands-on with F1 25. Join us at the Virgin Media Gamepad and Drive as APXGP from the F1 movie.
Yep.
Okay, so here's my... now, I don't know shit. Oh,
Okay.
Sean, uninformed. There you go. You guys got it. Thank you. Is APXGP the name of Brad Pitt's Formula One team in the movie?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm not that. Okay. Now, and F1 the movie is Brad Pitt's F1 movie, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Join us at the Virgin Media Gamepad. What's that?
This essentially like the arena that they have at the O2. They're like the O2 Center. Yeah, that's what they're calling it. Just like like the gaming area, kind of like when you go to an expo. They got their little
What expo?
a section off area for them. Yeah.
No, what expo?
Not an expo, no, but like how like each company or something will have like something kind of
At
like
a Formula One race?
for them. Because like you'll like when you go into like the fan area, each place will have its own. Each company will have its own little section and stuff. You could go in there and do whatever. Yeah, I mean, like when I went to the 24 Hours of Nürburgring, like you had Rennsport there. They brought like 2 shipping containers that they converted into like a sim center, and that was called that was like the Rennsport area, kind of. Yeah.
Okay, so with that is where my confusion is. So they're saying that on May 16th, which is tomorrow, or today, right?
Well, today's the 19th, yeah, or 16th. Sorry.
Wait, I'm losing my mind here. Forgive me.
No,
Okay.
so you can do it on May 27th. You can go.
Well, no.
The...
This one here, May 16th, Virgin Media Gamepad. That's today.
I'm seeing it as. Well, you keep on scrolling back. You keep on.
Here, yeah, I'm to the right one. This was posted yesterday, and it says, "Join us at Virgin Media Gamepad and Drive as APXGP from F1 the movie."
Oh, okay.
May 16th at 1400 BST.
Oh.
So at Imola this weekend. Thank you, Joa. And Joa, thank you for that, and not thank you for the other comment. I saw it. Okay, so anyway, you can play that scenario, and I'm guessing this is a big part of the game as well, because we have the liveries and anyway, and the movie comes out May 27th.
I think no, it comes out in June.
Oh, the game comes out May 27th.
Yeah.
All right. that's the end of this portion of the uninformed Sean show. Let's hope.
We should have like one of those intro cutscene thingies, like uninformed with Sean Cole. Playing that. Kind of like, what is it like? The background is lit, but it's black and white, and they only see your shadow. And then you sit on that freaking that bar stool, and you're kind of like,
All right. Or I could have just read this whole article that I already had pulled up here. By the way, we have to mute them, even as a movie. Stop with the music. Oh, it's only 49 seconds. It's going to be all music. So, yeah. There is the livery in its glory in the game. Simpit, totally uninformed.
Right.
All right. Anyway, so they're making that a big deal.
Yeah. Did you see the new trailer for it? Or are you still? Have you only seen the original trailer when it came out last year?
No, I think we watched the new trailer like a week ago.
Okay.
Didn't we?
All right.
I think I had it right here. Or actually,
remember.
it's this one right here. The one with.
No, we didn't watch it together. We saw the trailer for the F1 game, but not for the movie.
Oh no! Oh yes,
Yeah.
no. For the movie, I've not seen the.
Yeah.
We saw the original, I do think, but I don't think we saw.
Okay. Well, I won't do anything. I'll wait till you watch it, then we can talk about it.
Do we need to pull it up?
No, we can do it. I mean, I don't want to get copyright striked. We can do it not next week. I guess the week after. Yeah, and dissect it. Like, how true is this to true realism, or is it just is it going to be just like Driven or Gran Turismo movie where it's like overly dramatic for the sake of creating tension and excitement? So.
I just want to say, if I ever say anything that you for a moment doubt, whoever is doubting it, I just got to tell you that's false information. Just saying. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Okay. Gran Turismo. 4 new cars are coming to update 1.59. It's a free update. The Ferrari 812 Superfast.
Oh, that's a beautiful car.
It is. The 2001 Corvette Z06. The 2012 Suzuki Carry KC.
What was gonna... I mean, I love Gran Turismo. I mean, that's one of the games that got me into sim racing. But man, like some of the cars that they add is just like I don't know what they're kind of thinking. Is just
all right. Well, don't drink your coffee yet. Because
okay.
As much as my mom just got one, and that's awesome. A 2021 Honda CRV E. Oh, she didn't get the E. She got the regular.
The EHEVEX black.
Wow. Wow. Well, no, I would love to have a Suzuki Carry. I honestly, this is, I mean, you all probably know I lean a little bit liberal, but then if you talk to me, you'll find out I'm like ridiculously conservative on a bunch of weird topics. Right. But ultimately, I do lean very liberal. And this isn't so much a liberal as a common sense thinking. I wish we could get everyone in America to drive something like a Suzuki Carry KC. Because if we could, we could really reduce, like, the size of our roads, the need for gas, the amount of gas. But we could improve safety. Because the cars don't weigh 20,000 pounds. So, anyway, I'm a small car, small house concept person. As much as funny enough, ironically, because I love exotic, awesome cars, but my society concepts are much stricter than my heart is. My brain is different than my heart, if that makes any sense, right? I mean, geez, my Datsun is a gross polluter.
Is it?
It is.
I don't know, man. To me, I don't know. I hate small cars. That's just, I'll say it right. I'll be right. I'll be the exact opposite. I think small cars are garbage. There you go. Maybe even a little, distinguished garbage.
They're cozy.
No, I'm a big guy. Like I can't like for me to sit in something like that. Like I am gonna be like, like this. Like like don't get me wrong. Like Mini Coopers, not the newer Mini Coopers, but kind of like when BMW first brought them back. Like, dude, I love driving that car. Like that. Like at first I was kind of like, well, I'm not gonna drive one of those things. That thing looks. No, like I can flip it over with one finger. I got in it and I drove it and I had tons of fun, but I was so cramped inside being a tall guy. Like
See,
I couldn't. I need space. I need to be able to like, be able to sit comfortably in a car. Like, yeah, I couldn't drive something like that.
I have no sympathy for you giants.
Like, dude, I even tried. What is it? When me and a buddy of mine. This has got to be like 7 years ago. Even longer than that. I had my M3, and he bought the Alfa Romeo Quadrifoglio Giulia, blah 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 blah.
Oh, you mean
right?
the most unreliable car ever built? That one?
Well, it's supposed to be the competitor to the M3, the C63.
The
AMG,
Alpha is way better
Mustang
looking.
GT.
The Alpha's a better looking
great.
car?
Oh yeah, by far. It's a beautiful looking car. But man, like even though it's like when you look at it on the outside, like all right, it's decently sized. Dude, I had so much trouble getting in and out of that car. And like, I love it. It's got a roaring I'm not saying it was a Ferrari engine, but it was based off of Ferrari engines. And the sound of it was amazing. It drove freaking brilliant. But like, I can barely get in and out of this car. Like, what the hell? Like, why would you design a car like this where like, you're making it possible for tall people to get in and out of these cars?
I am 99% sure that is the most unreliable car made. Here,
Yeah.
I'm gonna chat GPT this. I love chat GPT. Okay, what is the most unreliable car made in the last 5 years?
I would say it's Star Fox, but yeah, I do. Not I want to say it's the smallest. They're still smaller than it, but I can still get in and out of it super comfortably. Like I have no problem getting in and out of it. And let's just comment. I just blame that on jealousy. Yeah.
Wow, it's not even in the top 5 according to chat here.
Oh, for unreliable
Give
cars?
me the top 10 list. Like I said, we don't have a lot of news today. You committed to an hour, you said.
Hey man, I'm here as long as you want to.
All right. Does anybody don't cheat? So I only want guesses off the top of your head. Be fair here. What are your guesses? What do you think is the most unreliable car over the last 5 years? I want some guesses. You guys are car people. All right. Alesh is taller than Amir.
Is he? I don't know, but he's tall and skinny.
Oh, I'm taller than you.
I know. I don't know. I don't care.
All right. The most unreliable. Oh, that might be too new to have full reporting yet. Jeep Wrangler.
I could see that. I mean, it had to be an American car, of course.
Well, and it's a notoriously bad car. I mean, as far as that goes. I mean, just
right.
It is. The Chevy Bolt EV, which is a bummer to me because, and this is sort of funny, I always thought that the Chevy Bolt looked so much cooler than the BMW i3, which I found astonishing because I'm like, BMW is a much better company than Chevrolet in styling.
Right.
But yet the Bolt I thought was way cooler, and it's virtually the same level of car. Anyway, that's number 2. Number 3, no surprise, Land Rover Discovery. You ever talk to any car people, they'll tell you to never buy any Land Rover, end of story.
Never.
No surprise to me because I used to be a mechanic. Ford Explorer, they've never been good. They never will be good. And Ford does make some good cars, by the way, but not that one. Next on the list, Tesla Model X.
I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah. Volkswagen Atlas, Subaru Ascent, and then number 8 is the Giulia.
Okay.
And then the Hyundai Kona.
Was it the Giulia or the Quadrifoglio Giulia? They're two separate. They're two different cars. I mean, yeah, same.
Different motor, same chassis.
Different motors and stuff. Yeah.
Same chassis. Everything else is different.
Yeah.
It just says the regular one, but I would only imagine the other one. So I want to go back to a topic. I'm sorry I derailed us so well there.
Yeah.
You were talking about making the upgrades to your car.
Yeah.
I was talking about the Wave Italy and the high tolerances.
Right.
And I think it was Callum who said this to me, and it's something that I've thought. Was the Aztec unreliable or just butt ugly? I think the Aztec was a decent car. I think it was just butt ugly. I would love to have a Pontiac Aztec now, by the way. I think that car, like, its function right now might be cool. It's going to come back to be like the VW thing. You know, in 20 years, people are going to like really be like, oh my God, an Aztec. Okay, so getting back to
you've been watching a lot of Breaking Bad, haven't
you? So this is something really relevant to sim racing, and it's something that if you ever race cars or get into racing, you realize this too. Like, here's my thinking. In the world of cars, there is nothing more reliable than, say, like the Toyota Camry.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. It's just super basic. It's not a high tolerance. It's not a high compression motor. And I don't know about the new ones. We might, because Toyota's kind of screwed things up. I don't know about the new Camry.
Yeah.
I know the new Tacoma is a nightmare. Yeah. So like you have to go. Yeah. So yeah. But the minute you start trying to get more out of a car, by any means, you are going to have a higher fail rate.
Oh yeah.
You know, and when you then get to exotic cars, you're talking about cars that need ridiculous amount of maintenance in order to try to prevent their outrageous fail rate. Yep. And I hate to say this, sim racing equipment's no different. The further you get from a Logitech G29, you are actually increasing the likelihood of issues and problems of any kind compared to just running a Logitech G29, aka a Toyota Camry. Am I wrong? Yeah. Does anybody disagree? Now I'm not saying that I don't have components that haven't lasted me 10 years of perfection on the high-end scale. I am using a generalization here.
I mean, I could say that I've rarely heard of, and because I mean I go on Reddit, read some, see on the Facebook groups. I rarely ever hear of like a Logitech DFGT or a G20 or a Thrustmaster T300 ever failing. Like usually like those people will beat the crap out of them and then it failed maybe after 10 years. I mean, I think like the biggest example we have is Booth. I mean, his Thrustmaster finally kaput after how many years of having it? But yet then you see the failures in Fanatec, Moza, SimMagic, SimiCube. You hear about those more often than the other ones. And again, this is just the internet. I firmly believe only 10% of whatever product people, 10% of people that own a product only post online. So you never really know what the other 90% are experiencing. But they're just like online I see more comments about the higher end guys where their equipment's failing versus the more budget friendly equipment.
Yeah. And Tony, you're right. Since the invention of direct drive, it does change things a little bit. In high-end pedals, this is for certain. I guarantee you, in high-end pedals. But high-end gear that is solid, that is sold as high-end but is not really high-end. In some cases. In some of this, I also mean other things, though. Logitech has the bankroll to make sure that their thing has the latest drivers in anything they want it to be in. When games launch, they accommodate the Logitech G29. They don't necessarily accommodate somebody's Gen 4 this or that direct drive wheel, right?
Right.
And so part of it is that as well. And then in some cases, Joe is right. I mean, like, and in the world of super high-end pedals specifically, you get some that just, and this could be annoying, and anybody who's had a set of high-end pedals, don't tell me you haven't dealt with this. Sometimes their extreme precision causes little teeny tiny little problems, like in iRacing, where it's so sensitive that if you like even put your foot near the pedal, it's reading, because you're like, wow, I just touched the pedal. I'm just not even resting. It's just there, and I'm already applying brake pressure, or it might even have a hard time getting calibrated to that perfect stopping point because 1 micromillimeter difference is going to be too much, and iRacing is going to be like, there's a percent. Or you'll see it on the same thing. I've seen sometimes where the high end calibrated, and just like maybe being lazy and just relaxing the amount of pressure I'm putting on that pedal will actually be enough for iRacing to drop it to that like little line. You know what I'm talking about? So anyway, and yet I've never had that set of problems with just a simple spring and potentiometer setup. I just, anyway, there is a correlation. I'm not saying it's fact, and I'm just saying, if you want to have issues with your car, well, upgrade it from stock. No, it just makes it harder. It means that everything, like getting the parts and making sure they're the exact same ones. There are slightest changes, even if it's the same series in a car. They might just have changed one little thing on the A-arm. So you're ordering a caliper, and it's like, oh, yeah, but the 83 through 85 had this one, and the 86 through 88 had that one, even though it's the same model year of that car. Anyway, I've been there, done that. Now I'm a big fan of, you buy okay, so I wanted to be fair is fair. Top 10 most reliable cars. Toyota Corolla. And that's a great example, because I'm now, maybe it's my age, maybe it's my status in life, maybe it's that I've been there and done that and had like a $50,000, well, now it'd be $100,000 lifted truck, and I've had my Datsun, I've had a lot of really cool cars, right? I've wasted a lot of money on cars over the years, and now I'm sort of like, you know what's cool? You buy a new Corolla, you pay it off, and then you drive it until it will not run anymore. And then you throw it away, or you trade it in on a new Corolla and do the same thing over again. That's me. I'm a simpleton when it comes to cars. I just want my car to work and get me from point A to point B. I'm not trying to impress anybody. Maybe that's it. I can't impress anybody. If my car impresses them, they're getting the wrong message because I can't back it up. Number 2 most reliable, Lexus GX. Mazda Miata. Did you know that the Miata was the 3rd most reliable car you could get?
I knew they were very reliable. I mean, I've seen tons of people have them, and they've had them for, even like the original.
You still see the
original Miata that came out. I still see them out here on the roads.
Yep.
And I see them at the Nürburgring all the time.
Toyota Prius. That's a little surprising, but that's kind of cool for the world that's such a great car. Honda Civic, Lexus ES, Toyota Camry. Man, Toyota's just this whole... of course. Subaru Crosstrek. That's kind of a surprise, because Subaru's got a dubious reputation.
Yeah.
Oh, this is even more surprising. The Hyundai Elantra Hybrid.
Okay. I mean, Hyundai's made some pretty reliable cars.
Not all of them.
Yeah. Not all of them.
A-
I mean, some of the models have been pretty reliable.
Ask a regular Elantra owner with
Mm-hmm.
the I think it's the 2.6 Elantra
Yeah.
owners with if your engine isn't dead, it will. It's either dead or terminal. That's the only version of the Elantra
Yeah.
motor. I know because my mom has a dead Elantra,
Right.
which is why she now has a CRV. Kia Soul. Wow, Kia Soul, number 10.
Okay.
You want to hear something weird?
What's that?
I kind of like the Kia Soul.
Bad look.
They're so weird. They're weird.
Yeah. But I'm surprised too because Marcus mentioned the Volvo 240. From when I was living in Lebanon as a kid, like almost everybody drives a freaking 80s Volvo.
Yeah.
And because they're built like freaking tanks, and like I've seen a bunch of them drive by with bullet holes from their Civil War from the 80s. This is like in the 90s, going to the late 90s, early 2000s. And like I'm seeing like bullet holes in these cars still, and these cars are just running just fine, no problem whatsoever. I'm like, okay, like if it can withstand two civil wars, I'm like, hey, kudos to you guys, Volvo. You guys built a freaking tank of a car.
I also like the little Scion box, by the way, just for the record, to be fair. I love that little Scion box car. I don't know what it's called. X2 maybe? No, that's a different Scion. Or no.
I can't be friends with you.
Anyway, this portion of the show, top most reliable and most unreliable cars, was brought to you by the 2012 Suzuki Carry KC, now in update 1.59 of Gran Turismo. I love the little Scion box. You know why? Maybe this is... I told you I'm into little cars. I said that already. And I also am into tiny houses. And I'm like, man, I think I could live in the Scion box.
I can't be friends with you. No. If you said, what's the coupe that they made? The Scion TC. I think it was called the Scion TC.
Yeah, that was
I can kind of get behind you on that one. But I think the box was the Scion XB? I think it was the XB.
The Xbox. And they have like that little mini. They have like little mini wheels on them. I don't know. I think they're cool.
Because I still remember when they were launching them in the States, because it's Toyota, but like, oh, we're releasing the Scion brand. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be hip. It's gonna be for the young crowd that loves the Fast and Furious and all that stuff. You could do all these customizations and make it look like this. And then I see then they officially launched the cars. I'm like, the TC is okay looking. Like, it's not a car that I would want to make. To me, seemed like it was inspired by Fast and Furious. Like, it's a okay looking coupe for the price. Like, it was a fairly cheap car when it came out. Then they came with the XB. I'm like, what is this hot garbage? I don't know. That is me.
Tim says Sean's ready to live in an old refrigerator box on the street. All right.
How do you think that is a good looking car?
I didn't say it was good looking.
I would not be caught dead in one of those things.
I just like it. I think it's cool. I don't have one.
Oh, okay.
I'm not saying I'd even buy one. I just, every time I see one, I'm like, that thing's cool.
Oh, man.
All right. Wreckfest 2. Wreckfest 2 is getting an update. Or got an update, I should say. I'm crying. I'm totally crying here. They have new tracks, new cars in today's Wreckfest 2 update, as well as tons of improvements.
Yeah.
Here, they have a little video. Do they have music?
Ooh.
Have returned because
Oh. Cowtown is doing an update
tracks,
video.
new cars,
Give credit where
new
credit's due.
improvements.
Yeah.
Some great changes like reduced VRAM consumption, memory leaks have been fixed, added vendor-specific support for NVIDIA DLSS and AMD Fidelity FX.
I heard they decreased the reliability of the Jeep Wrangler in Wreckfest 2. All right, so yeah, Wreckfest 2 getting some new cars, new tracks, and some internal updates. Anyone who's our Wreckfest? Is Phil here? Where's Phil?
I was about to say, did they fix the game though?
That's what I was going to ask. Did they make? Because again, I've left Wreckfest on the same list. I have it right over there on the wall. I should broadcast the wall list once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
But I have Wreckfest and Forza Motorsport, and I'm waiting for one of my community members who loves these games to come tell me that hey Sean, they fixed it. It's time for you to give it its shot. It's time. It's legit now.
Right.
So anyway, I've not heard that yet. Phil still plays the first one. Well, see, but that's what happens when you have a game that's such like in fact, it's a shame that we're in the era where like games will actually reject you being able to do this. But back in the day, we used to keep you would keep your updates. So when like NASCAR 2003 got an update, you would put it on a memory stick or on a hard drive and keep it away and protected. Because if they do another update that wrecks the game, you want to be able to revert back to the original. And sometimes this was licensing because at the very end it got ugly. This could be, I could be talking about, it wasn't Grand Prix Legends. What was the name of the mod that changed everything? How can I not remember it right now? It was the Redline, Team Redline mod for NASCAR 2003 that brought the Sauber, the Jaguar, I can't remember it. Anyway, there was an original version that you had to keep because as soon as NASCAR Papyrus shut it down, and then they came to an agreement and put out a very toned down version of what the original was, and it was anyway having like Wreckfest pre changes would be epic. It was so good. And that's the problem, is you get a cult following for something core element of your game and you change it, and then that group is just like, what have you done
Yeah.
You have a version selector. Okay, that's cool. So the SimMagic Alpha Evo is certainly making a storm in sim racing. I'm seeing guys who are throwing out their Alpha Ultimates for the Evos. Anyway.
Yeah, I've seen quite a few of the old SimMagic wheelbases on sale. Yeah. On the different groups. Yeah.
I have one for sale.
Do you?
I have an Alpha Ultimate for sale.
Ooh.
So anyway, hit me up on Discord. SimMagic has a profile. So one of their pro drivers, Alvin, he is a 2024 SRO IGTC silver driver. He put out his ACC eSport profile. So if you're looking for some settings for Assetto Corsa Competizione, here's one of the pro drivers settings for it, with that being a new base. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
What else? Cube Controls. They're showing off their colored editions. The CSX3 and F Pro color editions are here. Deck out your rig with fresh colors, refined shifters, and new grips. Make it yours. That's kind of cool that they would make the grips replaceable.
No purple, no buy.
No purple, no buy. You should
No
tell
buy.
You should tell them that. Red and blue. Red and blue.
Yeah.
And black. Red, blue, and black.
All the played out colors.
But you think about like the pineapple grips and what a great idea that was for somebody who really uses their wheel a ton. Kind of cool that the manufacturer would kind of take that into account and actually make grips. Great. And then, like, I think they had a video with it too. Here's their little more of a 3D rendering. There it is in blue. Does it switch? What are we doing? Oh, partial switch. Anyway, okay, cool. That's from Cube Controls.
Yeah.
GT Omega. This is the madness. The madness.
I saw that.
And the silliness. I'm leaving it there. Madness and silliness. I was gonna say much, much worse, but the madness and the silliness. Huge update, GT Omega. Due to recent changes with the U.S. tariffs, we've opened back up our U.S. store for the next 90 days. By the way, I am not pointing a finger at GT Omega when I say on again, off again silliness.
Right.
Just so you know, I'm not saying any more, but to be very clear, I am not pointing a finger at GT Omega. We recommend if you're interested in purchasing, get in while you can. Who knows when they'll change the rules again? I guess they're pointing a finger as well. Anyway, so if you were interested in GT Omega, they were unavailable, and they are now available for at least 90 days. And if you don't know what we're all talking about, I am jealous of you. Actually, that's to be honest with you. I'm jealous. Because I wish I could check out. All right. Rally. Alesh, are you here? Were you here at the beginning? When I told the world that you have the worst rally teammate in the league? But anyway, I'm very sorry. It's been a rough week, buddy. Simpit Rally was at Portugal. Vodafone Rally to Portugal, which some people, fake news, call it Rally to Spain. I'm just saying, but I call it Rally to Portugal. Others have said Spain in the past. You know what I mean. It was PC Deadman winning the entire event with an overall time. Short rally, 25 minutes, 44 seconds. I died. My engine blew. That's a fair way of putting it. My engine blew. And
Your real life.
Yeah, my real life engine blew and I died and it was over. I said, but Amir was kind enough to get a replacement. I'm like acting like I can do it, and I can't, apparently. I was having a terrible rally up until that moment, by the way. It was not going well. Caractacus finishes in second, 8.3 seconds back. Jeff SMKU finishing in third. Alesh Mom, my teammate, finishing in fourth, getting no backup from me. Dirge. Christian, you're in fifth. Joa's in sixth, Turlon in seventh, May Racer in eighth, David S in ninth, and Sporko Mick in 10th place. Moving on, I'm not going to go through we have 20 finishers. Looking at the teams now, we had some penalties issued for wrong car selections, by the way. There were some, let's see. I know that, let's see, here, let me get the story straight. Sorry. I don't want to sound uninformed. But Whipperman and Dirt Vets both got penalties for wrong car choices. Anyway, it is WDDF team Caractacus and oh my god, I said I was going to get it right. Wouter Van Maurik. Wouter Van Maurik and Caractacus, Team WDDF, 108 points. Heiko and John Hill, Whipperman Racing, 94 points. Davy Jones Racing, David and Tom, 89 points. From there back, we got NFG, the Simpit Rally team, and Dirt Vets bringing up the rear. All right, Sim Gaming Expo is growing and growing.
Well, you forgot something.
What?
We got something going on this Sunday.
What?
Our road league?
Oh, I'm sorry. You know what?
I quit.
No. I have a valid excuse here. I do have a valid excuse. I work backwards. So I work from the results as my building stories template for the show. And so when I pulled up the results, I'm like, oh no, that's right, we were off on Sunday. I don't have results. I wasn't thinking about promotion.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have that. Why don't I have that graphic hyperlinked? Can you send me the banner real quick?
Oh my gosh.
I'm kind of trying to run a show here. No.
Oh my gosh. If you go to Simpit announcements, it should be one of the.
That's
newer
right.
ones.
That's right.
That'll be much quicker.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go. You know what? I was gonna go to the road league. I'm like, oh my god, it's scrolling forever and it's not tagged here. I've looked. All right, this Sunday. Oh, this one doesn't have the schedule on it.
This Sunday is going to be at Sebring.
Sebring. I don't know if I can race.
Of course.
I don't know if I can. My shoulder is starting to feel better. It is starting because I've been doing two things. I've been doing my physical therapy, and I've been doing and I've been trying to be more active and mobile because that's a big part of it too. And then I've also been taking a leave at night. And those things, I don't know which is working the most or best, but those things are, my shoulder's getting better. So, yeah, anyway, but I don't know if I want to screw it up right now when I'm trying to get it so I can run.
It's all right. I'm just going to have to make you an amateur for the next league. Just say.
Thank God. All right.
Downgrade you to an amateur racer.
Sebring.
I'm excited for Sebring. I love Sebring, man. I know a lot of people don't like it because it's a very flat track, but I like it. I really like it because you have to be careful of where you brake depending on where the bumps are. Because if you hit that bump the wrong place, you're going to be spinning out and hitting the wall. Like, it's really, I like it. It's a challenge to do Sebring. Yeah.
Sebring has become my new test track for force feedback and a steering wheel.
Yeah, that will do it.
Yeah. Or apparently Rally to Portugal.
Okay.
All right, we have some Sim Gaming Expo announcements. We've got a lot of content, people. It is going to be I wonder how many lenses are going to get broken from lens-to-lens contact. Or mic-to-mic contact. Like, oh, sorry, I hit you in the head with my microphone. He's like, oh, it's cool, I just hit this guy in the head, too. No. Nightwolf 49 is going to be at Sim Gaming Expo. And Overtake, that'll be a bunch of cameras and microphones. Overtake is going to be there. They're going to be doing all sorts of exclusive stuff from Sim Gaming Expo.
The media partner first.
And we've got Free Aim VR shoes. Huh? Wait. Hold on.
I saw that announcement and I was like, VR shoes.
VR shoes. Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm not leaving it at that. We're not.
Okay. All right.
What?
Educate me, Sean. I am disinformed this time.
Whoa! It's Michael Jackson moonwalking shoes come to life. Dude, this is genius. All right, seriously, because I have been on like a handful of those little different mini trampolines with like a little ring around it so you don't walk off it, giving you dimensional. And it's like, they've been... This is like anyone could do it. It wouldn't work well on carpet, I can't imagine.
Yeah. No, I like that concept because, like, previously we had that concept of like you were kind of like in the half ball and you were just sliding around. You had to have the restraints around your waist.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is like, oh, but this is kind of cool. This is like, and anyone could have it in their house and not like, I always talk about in sim racing. This is general gaming. Obviously, this wouldn't apply to sim racing very well, but you can start running the track, I guess. Or rollerblading it. It always has to pass the significant other test.
Yeah.
See how I did that, by the way? That was so 2025 of me. No, but really, I mean, if you have a home and you live with others, you know, in any capacity, we could be talking about roommates. We could be talking about space allocation. So even if you just have kids, it's like, I'm sorry, but the kids get the space, not you.
I mean, yeah. The other thing is, if you live in a small apartment, you just don't have space.
Yeah. Oh, if you were upstairs, can you imagine if you were upstairs and you were on like a hardwood floor linoleum? Oh my god! Yeah, virtual track walk. Yeah. This anyway. Okay, I know what booth I'm going to. I'll be at the free aim booth.
I definitely would love to try those out. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I don't think, dude. You know, here's the problem. I think they only make them if you're like under 5'10" and under 175 pounds.
I don't believe you.
Yeah. No, they're
joshing me.
they're size restricted. It's a problem.
You're joshing me. I'm gonna make sure. What is it? Yeah, Joe. What is it? Joe is something. I'm gonna wear the stinkiest socks to the Sim Expo. Put these on. Like you can't use these anymore. We can't give them out to other people. My socks are so messed up.
Oh,
now people are gonna get freaking athlete's foot and all this stuff. Better just give them to me, and I'll give them a good home.
I'm gonna have to make some Simpit socks. I have to talk to IMB about some Simpit socks.
I know. Oh yeah.
All right. Sparks. Who's Sparks? Another streamer, gaming content.
Yep, he's another streamer.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, we've got lots of people. Sim gaming expo growing every day. I love it,
dude. I'm so excited for it, man. So excited.
George, you're here.
Yep.
I gotta try to get you Bernie's number. Or email. Also, I was talking you up with Track Racer just yesterday, just so you know. I was like, hey, are you guys going to be there? Because I'm going to be there. If you're there, I mean, it'd be cool to do something special at your booth. Just so you know, I said those words to them out loud, not like text or anything. Now, Amir saved the day, because I was going to say no one posted anything in the poster. What?
Before we move on, Sim Gaming Expo, if you guys haven't been watching our show, me and Sean are going to be there. And we also have a deal with the Sim Gaming Expo guys. So if you're not on Discord, join our Discord, go to our announcement section, and we've got a code for 10% off your Sim Gaming Expo tickets. So I'm not going to say what the code is. You have to join our Discord or go to our announcement section to get that code, and you can get your tickets for the Sim Gaming Expo. We're trying to plan a Simpit specific event, so the sooner people can tell us, hey, you know, we're going to be there, the more time I'm going to have to be able to plan something for us. Like, you know, we are going to have a chance to have the esport arena to ourselves, so we can actually race against each other with each other in person, and then potentially, like, you know, do some sort of outing on one of the nights as the Simpit pit crew. So yeah, I want to meet all the guys that are in North America. I haven't met any of the guys in North America.
Yeah,
I get to meet Sean. I've never met Sean in real life.
I cannot wait. This is like one of the most exciting things in a very, very long time.
Yeah.
You actually buy Creality's filament?
Me?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean, it's cheap over here. Yeah.
I will never buy another thing from Creality ever again.
No, I've never had any issues.
Yeah, I've owned 3 Creality printers.
Okay.
The first one was awesome.
Right.
But if you print a lot, they're not made to be industrial. I accept that. So I got like 3 years of solid printing out. It was the giant one, the big.
Right.
Loved that printer. It was awesome. Then I bought a second printer, and it was just temperamental. And then it wore out also at the same rate, but I got like maybe 40% as much production off of it because it was so temperamental. Mm-hmm. And then I bought a third one that my fail rate was like 65%.
Yeah.
It couldn't print shit. And then I got sick of buying things to try to make it work, and I still have it, but I have no faith in it. I don't buy filament, and you can't just keep filament forever. Anyway, I like your color there, by the way.
So yeah, I have so much blue. That's why I just printed just so I can start getting rid of it.
Yeah.
Um,
You
but
have
I
to.
don't know. Can people guess what I'm printing? Because
That's a good
I
question.
know I know some people in Discord already saw what it is. So people that saw in Discord don't say anything.
I know what it is. It's a
what is
tiny
it?
house for Sean.
It is. Yes.
Star Fox, my next printer would probably, if I bought a printer today, it would be a Bamboo Labs. Now, when I go to, I don't know when I'm going to buy one. And if I had one thing to print, I would probably fire mine up. And knock on wood, the last time I used it, it actually printed what I was trying. I like literally dusted it off, fired it up,
Yeah.
and it worked. And it was like, what the? Because the last 10 things I tried to print failed.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, like with my printer, I had one issue where it clogged, and then all the freaking 3D plastic went over the whole entire heat sink, and I had to get that replaced.
I've had that.
That's the only issue I've had with it. Once I got it dialed in, got calibrated correctly, like man, it's been printing like good, like crazy.
You bought yours is supported on both sides, right? We're only seeing. Yeah. So you have the one that's a cube versus the one the one-sided ones.
Right.
Okay, that was the one that I loved, by the way.
Okay.
So is that I had an Ender 5 Pro or something. It was huge.
Yeah.
Right.
I have it's the same. This is the Ender 5 S1.
Okay.
Pro.
Yeah, like the upgraded from my original.
Yeah.
Loved that printer. It was perfect. Yeah. It held calibration so perfectly.
Oh yeah.
No, the other two I had were both the side, like the Ender 3s, I think is the and they suck. Sorry, I know Phil's probably out there like screaming his head. No, he doesn't go with Enders anymore, but or Creality. Anyway, if I had money, by the way, I would buy a new printer tomorrow, but I don't have any money. And if I did buy a new printer tomorrow, it would be a Bamboo Labs for sure. I keep researching on them because I someday will.
Yeah, my only problem with 3D printers, like with Creality, for the price point, like nobody makes a bigger bed than they do. Like it's really, I haven't seen anybody that makes a bed the size of what Creality does for the same price.
Well, and when I bought the 5, that was why, because I knew I was buying when I bought my printer, it was to build a steering wheel.
Yeah.
And so I knew what print size, and I'm like, this is the only printer I can afford, like by a long shot. There's nothing even close. When I bought the original, which I don't have the room for that one now though, because that thing was huge.
Yeah.
So, anyway, George guesses that you're building a dash.
Close. You're very close, George. Very, very close. So it's part. So I mean, people that have been following my thread in the 3D print. So I'm starting to build my center console or my center dash area. So that's the part that's going to house my my DDU. So that's I had to break into two parts because it's just too big to house to print it, in one piece. So it's going to be in two pieces. So yeah, I'm in the middle of building that. Then I'm trying to make it look like the center dash of a car. So it's going to have the size. It's going to have like air vents in it. It's going to have a couple other things you'll be able to attach to it. And it's all going to be what's the right word? It's all like each individual piece I'm building is going to be able to be replaceable. So if I want to upgrade something else later, modular. Yeah. So like if I don't like the eyebrows that I have, the LED eyebrows I'm using, I want to change it to something else. So I don't have to 3D print the whole dash anymore. I just got to print that 3D part that houses the brows, and that's it. Yeah. So and then I'll be. Yeah.
Are you printing a Pontiac Aztec?
It's a little bit more angular than a Pontiac Aztec. Yeah.
A hair care product holder?
I mean, it's going to be on the side. Yeah, definitely. So I need some gel. There you go. All right.
The truth when it comes to 3D printing is you have to understand the way it's strong and the way it's weak.
Right.
And as long as you keep that, you can't make anything and everything in the world out of 3D stuff.
No.
Like, I'll give you a great example. I refuse. I've printed an NRG wheel side, mount
Yeah.
because I was like, I'm gonna put my wheel on the wall.
Yeah.
But then I was looking at my print and I'm like, yeah, but your layers are this direction. So if one of those spring-loaded balls put extra pressure in, that's the direction that 3D print wants to break. And so I've never actually put a wheel on it for two reasons. One, the weight of the wheel, and the other is that I literally think that the ball bearings could explode it in time.
Yeah.
And I don't want my wheels to fall on the ground because I used it. So now, if I were to print it the other direction with a bunch of supports, it would not be as pretty a piece. It wouldn't look as good. But it would be a lot, like twice as strong, and I probably would have the confidence in it to last. But it could still split the other way.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on what material you're using and stuff. Like now you're starting to see like different kinds of 3D filament coming out.
Yeah.
Carbon fiber reinforced and things like that. But
yeah,
I mean, yeah, I'm like you. I wouldn't print, like, for example, you did the steering wheel, a couple years ago.
Which held up.
Like, well, yeah, it's held up. Like for me though, like I would never, like, say where I know most of the forces are gonna go. I would not 3D print that. I would either send it to somebody to make it, machine illumined or make it out of a carbon fiber plate, and then use the 3D printing to make it look nice. Like for people that saw me, like when I was building my my center console, that goes inside where it houses my shifter and everything. I mounted the shifter and the handbrake to a metal plate, and then everything just around it is 3D printed surround. Like, so I'm not putting any pressure or anything on the 3D print. I just used it to 3D print, then I wrapped it in Alcantara, carbon fiber, and it just, so it looks pretty, and it looks like you're sitting in a car. Like, yeah. So I think that's where people kind of get misguided or confused on. Like, stuff that's going to take a lot of forces, like you don't want to 3D print that. It's going to fall apart because it's just plastic in the end. Like, doesn't matter if it's 3D printed or plastic, it's just going to fall apart because it can't handle the forces.
Sure.
You gotta be able to use a material that can withstand those forces, like on a wheel or anything like that can hold it. Then, if you want to do like the housing in 3D printing or something else, you could do that because you're not going to put any forces on it.
Yeah. And again, when I say that I wouldn't do that, that's because I'm not going to put a $2,000 wheel on a 3D printed part. Now, that doesn't mean I wouldn't use a 3D printed part. My steering wheel worked fine. That steering wheel had a quick release adapter to an NRG style quick release. It was all fine. And the other thing is, you got to go back to why 3D printers kind of existed. And to me, it was like, this is really made as a rapid prototyping device. Not a toy maker, so to speak. And that's why they existed for a very long time before they became 3D printers have been around for like 30, 40 years. They're not new at all. Not even close to new. It's just all of a sudden the mainstream people are like, oh, you could build a toy with this, or a doodad or whatever. So like the way that I industrially have used a 3D printer at work at CXC, for example, is we would design a part in CAD. We would 3D print the part on our printer. We would then be able to put the part in place to see if it fit and worked with our overall design. Since we're building prototype type work, it worked out awesome, and we could literally change a part and an hour later have another one. And then when we got it right, we would then usually send it off and have it done by a 3D machining shop and have it made in billet aluminum. And that would still be prototyping, but we would go from a plastic one that cost us nothing to one that was really more expensive than production would be. Because we're not going to have all of those made in billet aluminum. It was just the fastest way to get that part done.
Right.
We would then look into the process to make that part most efficiently, is the best way to put it. So that was my job, by the way, for a long time. I mean, that's what I have done over the course of my lifetime working real jobs. I've always been somewhere in that cycle of production. That's sort of what it's always been. That's me. To know me.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean,
go ahead.
It's kind of like I equate it like 3D printing too. You also have to, and I mentioned in the comments too, because Heiko was talking about the 3D printed quick release. Like you also have to understand how to do the layers properly for maximum strength. Like
Yeah.
it's just like carbon fiber, right? Like, you see they're using carbon fiber in your race cars and all that sort of stuff, and it's just as strong as steel. But yeah, it's just strong as steel in one or two directions. But if you hit it in another direction, it's just going to shatter like glass.
Right.
Because it's not built to handle a hit or the forces from one side. It's built for maximum strength on one side. I kind of equate that in a way to 3D printing, like depending on how you do the print, where you start from, and how you have the layers going. Like you can have maximum strength, or you're going to have no strength to it whatsoever.
Yeah. Like I said, if you just turn that part on its side, make sure your layers or whatever pattern, other little tricks. If you're super knowledgeable, you can always have it like I can't remember what it's called, but where it like remelts the layer back in, so it lays a layer and then it kind of goes back and superheats it, so you get better adhesion between layers. The other thing is 3D printing also comes down to how skilled you are at that. It is a hobby or a talent in its own. And those who really understand the process, I'm not, are going to get better results, because they're going to be able to and how much testing. Like when I first got into this, Phil gave me a lot of guidance. And there's another reason, if you're watching right now, if you're still watching this, give it a thumbs up. Get into our Discord, ! Discord gets you on our Discord. Where did I meet Phil and talk about 3D printing? In the Simpit Discord. But he was the one who was like, oh, here are these test things that you print, so you can see what your machine's really doing. So if you're printing something that might take 10 or 20 hours, which we've all done, you want it to be the best effort, right? It's a waste of time to print a wasted part. So you want to know that like your temperatures are right where they're supposed to be, and that your calibration is right where it's supposed to be, because then that's when you do get maximum layer adhesion. So anyway, I just remember sometimes I wouldn't always have the best running machine. As I said, I had problems with machines 2 and 3, and I'd be like doing a 3D printed trophy and trying to glue pieces together, and it would snap right on the layer separation. And again, infill, pattern, temperature. What tricks are you using? Were you building thick enough walls? So many factors, and being a pro at that is going to be a big deal. All right, I'm tapped out. Anything else?
Nah.
Sunday.
Sundays are road race. If you're not going to race, we got to figure. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to stream it. So I'm ready. I'll be ready for that. And then I'm going to try to get my trophy AI review video done and get that out. And then I gotta, so then I gotta start building the rally wheel, which I'll do a live build for that. I gotta figure out when I can do that, and then do the video for the build of the center console. That's what I got so far. Oh, and then in June, I'll be doing a visit, Sean. It won't be just as cool as you. But on the 13th of June, I'll be over at SimLab, meeting with Richard and his team, doing an interview, looking at some of the stuff they have that they're working on behind the scenes.
Hey.
I'll get some content, for the Simpit, just to showcase some of the things that they're doing to stay ahead of everybody else. Yeah.
Yes. Caitlin, yes. Well, you're right, and there are other ways of doing it, because it's like nylon reinforced, with plastic also. It is only as strong. You still have the layer, linearly. It would be a little bit stronger, right? Because it's reinforced just like nylon reinforced plastic is. But your lines separate. You can't get those fibers to cross lines, so that's where it would be limited. I think you knew that. You were just sort of making a joke, but I'm with you there on the joke. And Tom, so if you 3D printed an airplane and threw it, it would fly. Well, it wouldn't fly. It would fall with style, like Buzz Lightyear. You get a bit of, you have wings. You're going to get a little bit of lift, but it's going to be far too heavy to have any actual floatability. However, I think if you were to properly draw out the framing and print it in plastic and then cover it in like that tissue paper or Mylar, that yes, you could definitely make a 3D printed glider for sure, but you would have to bring in a different surface area device. Yeah. And then for sure, I absolutely you could. No doubt in my mind. Direct design 8 M4 screws. Yeah, getting the layers, screwing it together. There are other tricks. I think Callum had mentioned you can always coat. So if you do some kind of a coating on the outside, you could get better adhesion. There are a lot of tricks, but it really does start with, again, not anyone can go up to a CNC machine and make a part. It actually, there's a lot of trade skill that goes into knowing how to, like, and I would argue with any, please, no one ever go up to a lathe and be like, oh yeah, I can do this. You'll kill yourself. These are skilled trade jobs, and like I'm really lucky that I never hurt myself on our lathe, because I just kind of taught myself how to use it by mistakes, unfortunately. And I'm just lucky that none of those mistakes led to some horrific accident, because it is the most dangerous thing I've ever done, I think, in my life, was working a lathe. But getting back to it, 3D printing is the same type of thing. Like, it just, there is, yes, anyone can press go and get a Bodie or a floaty or whatever, 3D, what do they call that guy? Benchy.
I don't know.
Benchy, 3D Benchy.
Yeah, Benchy.
Anyone can do that. But getting one that actually meets the actual, like when you actually grab a micrometer or look at the layers or the definition, getting one that would get 100 score, of perfection is not just a fire and forget kind of experience. So, Tom Jones, I don't think it'll be Saturday. I'm trying to, in my mind, we're not going to do Hot Lap Pump Day on Wednesday. This Wednesday is the third Wednesday of the month. I needed to make some bigger announcement than this. Wednesday we're going to push it back 1 week. As far as rally goes, I can't do rally Thursday because I won't be here. I don't know. Yeah, even a wood lathe, no different. Anything. If I just a wood or metal lathe, both of those are the kind of things that the Final Fantasies or Final Destination movies are made out of. So I'm not sure. I'm actually thinking of maybe doing a Wednesday morning rally. I'm toying with that idea. Heiko, I am a self-taught amateur metal worker. I really wish that it was a trade for me. But I just sort of taught myself how to weld. I taught myself how to lathe. I've taught myself how to use most of the machining tools. Drill press is pretty basic and easy. But I've even learned the tricks, to prevent, broken tips and all that stuff. But it took years of teaching myself. It was sort of like I had the equipment, but I had nobody to teach me the ropes. So it was like, well, watch a YouTube video and give it a go. And that's what I did for all of that kind of stuff. And I mean, I'm a pretty decent welder. I'm an okay lathe guy, but I do break some tips lathing. Metal. I've never lathed wood. I would like to. For fun. But yeah. All right. I'm rambling about anything. Anything else, Amir?
No, that's it on my end, buddy. I'm ready to kickstart the weekend.
It is the weekend time! Yes, it is indeed. All right, join Amir on Sunday for the race. I'm going to be working on something after the show. I'm going to mention an idea I have to Amir, see what he says about it. Oh. That's what I might be working on. And then you guys have fun with the race. And I will get a rally in before I leave. But this is probably the last you're going to see of me until I get back from Indy. And I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, it's going to be a much needed, very well timed vacation.
Yeah.
Oh. All right, everybody.
You deserve it.
Thank you.
Don't forget, next week's going to be a special day for our special boy. So, you know, I'm not going to say what it is or anything like that. It's going to be a very special day next week.
I don't know.
I'll make an announcement. We'll make an announcement in the Discord.
I don't know what's going on. Don't know what's going on. Like I said, I might do a Wednesday morning stream. I either have to do it Tuesday or Wednesday. We'll see. All right. You all get out there. Have yourselves a great weekend. Get out there. Do some sim racing. And that's going to do it for this one. This is the Simpit. I'm Sean Cole. That's Amir Assad. And we will see you on the track.
Stay classy, world.